insane. The surface of Eastern Oromon is an endless desert. We'll never find the Shrine Forge this way.
I'll switch back to the islands just above the Tempest layer.
The conquering hero returns.
Hey, hero. See if you can make out anything but sand.
Really with this? Already?
Why are we looking at sand?
Thaddeus gave me the history of Sandrak's Binding Stone. As you say, sir, it's some real end-of-time shit. The Aristea couldn't survive it, so our chances are on the wrong side of 0. Before he died, Thaddeus told me that the Shrine Forge used to create this Binding Stone was...
under all that sand.
Maybe. He didn't specify whether it was on the surface, which is completely blasted by magical fallout, or the islands above, which stretch out forever west.
Wait a second. Did you say Thaddeus died?
Yeah, the Hand of Sandrak was following me. Had a team of Nightblades with her, and...
What matters now is that we have a location for a location. And that's better than yesterday. We find this Shrine Forge, we're one step closer to finding some weakness in Sandrak's hold over the Binding Stone.
I'll break out our scrying records on Rasharnian troop movements in Oromon within the last year.
You know, they say one after effect of being inside a massive volcano is dehydration.
I'm just tired.
Get some rest. Narrowing down this search to anything actionable is likely to take all night.
I might have an idea on how to shorten that.
This was extraordinary work, Initiate.
Thank you, sir.
Jack, hold up. Zendara's right. You do the Immortals proud, my friend. And it's great to see you back in one piece after that whole adventure.
Thanks, Dev. It's good to see you too.
Just now, when you were telling us about Thaddeus, I noticed something might have been distracting you.
Really? Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean.
Your face at one point, it was like you'd seen a ghost. Forgive me for prying. I'm sure...
Hey, no offense, but it's private, Evan.
Yes, but private how?
Like you don't need to know.
Ah, I hate that kind. Well, if you were to change your mind...
Dev.
Fine by me, but not really. Also, I'm so very sorry if I embarrassed you in front of your Ilori friend. Is friend the right word? I know I embarrassed myself.
His name's Rook. But one thing at a time, Devin. I gotta head out.
You heard the Grand Magnus. Return to quarters, get some rest.
I haven't forgotten. I still owe you a conversation about Sandrak having been an immortal. But finding the Shrine Forge is priority 1 right now.
The Grand Magnus is right. You should get some rest. We can handle things from here.
Luna's alive. What am I supposed to do with that?
You look like you could use some sleep, sir.
Orphe?
Candle.
So with your, special sight, Do you know who wins the Everwar?
Depending on when we look. Sometimes. Malbiage is winning it now against the Kel. Oh, we're 12,000 years ago, when sigils were worn as crowns.
Not so much then.
Eternal things, like the Everwar or the Aristea. Time runs out of room to record them. Room and desire. When things get too old, time loses interest.
Yeah, I don't... You know, that sounds weird, right? No offense.
Oh, it's very weird. Aggravating, too. We want to know if Rasharn secures a decisive victory as much as you do. Time's just not paying attention to it.
I've been meaning to ask you about your mask.
It has nothing to do with Rasharn's Order of Masks. They are little more than a broken cult, playing with trinkets and damnation.
Oh, whoa, I totally wasn't gonna make that connection.
The Yakel settled along the western rain valleys long ago. This was before the Gaterond, the cataclysm that claimed them all, except for me.
Hold up, I think you might have skipped ahead.
Oh, we were talking about our tally mask? It shifts through all the faces of my people, each and every one. You're unable to see it, of course. We were the only Yakala to survive. So we wear the rest of their faces in memory.
Then it's like the wall of names, your mask. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you.
It's only a mask, Candle. We could never get upset. Sadly, we could not. The Thradakul is an Aristean art.
Wait, did you just read my mind?
We can't do that. Such magic was outlawed at Atheron.
Okay, but then how did you...
Oh, of course. You're just catching up to the discussion you started. As we were saying, Nosia's fate was hidden from us, as was Sandrak's breach of the war chamber. The Thradakul is an Aristean artifact. Those always put tiny perforations in time. Look too close to pasts or futures in their proximity. Pages get torn away.
Huh. Maybe that's how it lay hidden for so long. Seers can't see it clearly.
Nor scrying glass. Sometimes, however, holes in time have movements. Context. Tilt your eyes and predictions can occur. That's how a lot of our counterintelligence is done against enemies using chronoflage. It's unfortunate that no such methods would have worked at Nosia.
Orphe, you're gonna love this one. Turns out Aristea, the Eternal Empire, they only lasted 2 years.
In a particular version of Aveum, that's true.
I so knew you'd say something like that. The truth is really a time-fuckety thing, isn't it?
We're rubbing off on you. The truth is that their empire's communion with the Fonts awakened a kind of inhuman consciousness in and between the magic of Aveum itself. The Fonts had previously operated independently, but now they were sending messages back and forth through the minds of the Aristea. And they were so delighted to know loneliness no longer that they created the Untime.
Untime?
The Pentadi called it the Stillness. Civilizations can flourish in it if they can figure out a way to keep hold of causality in a space that has no meaning of the word. They never do. Aristea has always been forever and yet less than 1,000 days. How's that for time, fuckety, my little candle?
Good chat, Orphe.